Hello, Steve here. Welcome to Real Health. Who'd have thought health is about what we're eating? Join me on my quest to disseminate my go-to health regimen, the Health 44, my clumsy branding of eliminating 4 classes of food, introducing 4 classes of micronutrients. Bingo, bongo, health sorted. So thank you for your interest. Let's do this. Hello, Steve here. Welcome to Real Health. Who'd have thought, who'd have thunk, who'd have realised, who'd have imagined that? Real health is about what we're eating, what sort of micronutrients we're getting into us. It's been a while since my last podcast because it's hard to get a quiet moment in this new time where I have a 11-month-old child now, and when I do feel like I want to rip out a podcast, there's action in the background. There's another 4 daughters hanging around, so there you go. Today, you clicked on this. Fentanyl. In one word. I will tell it how it is. Fentanyl crisis, in one word, more accurately. So, you may have heard recently, ongoingly, and it'll get worse, that fentanyl is becoming this scourge, and the US is suffering, and perhaps other countries will be catching up. I'll mention that one word which describes the fentanyl crisis, and that one word is, some of the regular listeners may know what I'm going to say, pica. Yes, this is another attempt to explain pica, how it relates to the fentanyl crisis and the like. The ins and outs of how fentanyl is laced and gets into their drug supply and all that. That's a little bit of another content path to take. What's really going on is another level, another notch, another very skilled notch up in trying to address our cravings for micronutrients. Hear me out. All drug use, from the psychedelics in the 60s to the marijuana this and the cocaine that and the morphine, I guess morphine, fentanyl, a derivative of morphine. Is it 100 times more powerful than morphine? Well, there you go. But how these 100 times and 10 times things work, it's there's a few nuances in there, okay? But anyway, I'm not going to talk too much on the actual the chemistry of fentanyl. Many do know the chemistry and the biologic reaction of how fentanyl enters us and affects us and whatnot. Pica. I was going to do another update on searching up. There's the phone there. On searching up what, how Google, or these days AI, how they define pica. But in the past, when I've looked it up, pica is pretty much a behavior of eating items on non-nutritional value. That's pretty much it. What pica really is, and I'm going to rehash for the regular listeners, but this is another take. That pica is our cravings for micronutrients where we just are micronutrient deficient. Cravings, as well as drug taking, drinking, smoking, junk food addiction, or eating junk food. You may not think you have an addiction, but if you crave those fried foods, sugary crisps, and just name anything under the under the junk food title, if you have cravings for them, chocolates and the like as well, right? You've got pica. Oh, I know what pica's like. Pica is worse than coming off crack cocaine or caffeine. I can go on about caffeine too, but pica, as well as the obese people, the drug takers, and now the fentanyl people that's being laced into their drug of choice, is still pica. Fentanyl risks of your drugs being laced with fentanyl, that risk will be there because of the need, the request, the need, the seeking of that particular sort of high that drugs give us, and when we take on that next hit. There's most that relate any drug taking, together with the fentanyl going into our drugs, as psychological proclivities, traumas, personality proclivities, traumatic stress type traumas. It wouldn't surprise me if neuroatypical people will be neuroatypical people being exposed to drugs more, taking drugs more, and then that'll be blamed for being neuroatypical. So there's a lot in there, and I'll just unpack the pica part, okay, a little bit more. I've done pica as part of the cravings and the obesity and the drugs and the alcohol and the smoking. Yes, once more, drug taking, recreational drug taking, is exactly the same as having cravings for certain foods. Pregnant women too. They're also micronutrient deficient. The child is leaching those minerals out of mother in the first trimester especially. And if mother is deficient in some of those micronutrients, particularly the minerals, but also the vitamins, the amino acids, and the essential fatty acids, there's 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 2 essential fatty acids, which makes up the 90 essential micronutrients. And if your mum, she's unaware of this, okay, because the whole of society is really unaware of micronutrients, the essentials of the importance of micronutrients. There's 90 declared essential micronutrients. If you're lacking in any of those, you're risking issues in birth defects, and these days we're starting to blame our genes for those particular illnesses and chronic diseases. This and what's that? What am I trying to get at? Where your body attacks itself. Anyway, it'll come to me. But most will know what I'm trying to get at. Anyway, I'll get there. So, pica is part of the drug complex as well. Okay, and fentanyl is a nothing burger in regard to pica. Fentanyl is just this added little layer that makes us, the people that take drugs, get that particular high at lower cost, and that's all it is. The 100 times more powerful nature of fentanyl versus morphine, therefore the cost is lower. The better high is just addressing the pica that drug takers do have, and the people which gravitate, which subscribe to, which take on the whole complex of drug taking is about proclivities and the trauma that you may have had or having, or the depression that you want to get off. There's a lot of work done on the depression where You might be feeling, let's say 70. You take a recreational drug, you get up to 100, and you feel great. You go back down to 60 perhaps. You take that, it goes to 90. You're chasing that high, which is for a lot of people feeling normal, and for normal people which are operating at 100, you might go to 110. Ooh, gee, and then after a few doses, 100, you feel like 101, and it's not. You just turf it. You don't become that addicted part of drug taking. So this is a bit of a gimmick title for today. One word to describe the fentanyl crisis. The fentanyl crisis is just, particularly in the US, many would have seen reels that show these degenerate type homeless people high as a kite on particularly fentanyl laced drugs, whatever their drug of choice is. And it is a scourge. How do we get out of it? Micronutrients. It feels like I'm going to go into my few minutes rant on what we should be doing. What, in my humble opinion, what I believe we should be doing with our health, and therefore our diet, which relates to our health, including I get my few minutes to half an hour of early morning sunrise and late sun as well, and I'm out in the sun during the middle of the day as well. Good for sleep. And so when it comes to micronutrients, these days we need to supplement. If you don't want to go the supplement route, it's not dependable of what daily micronutrients you are taking on board. That carrot and that carrot will have different amounts of minerals in them. They'll probably have different, and because of the different amounts of minerals in those in that carrot, this carrot, that carrot, as that example, the vitamins and amino acids, essential fatty acids, perhaps in whatever crop that you're eating, it might have the same amount of, say, vitamin C in something, but it won't be bioavailable the same as the other carrot because the particular amount of minerals in them does not allow the vitamin in question to work properly, to be absorbed and to work right. I haven't bothered to investigate to what extent the minerals enable the vitamins to work, because that's a minefield in itself. We're not understanding, but minerals are the elephant in the room when it comes to the micronutrient categories, right? So we need those minerals. So back to fentanyl and drugs and obesity and smoking, drinking. It's all because it's all related. Yes, fentanyl in this podcast is the gimmicky. I'll click on that. Fentanyl crisis. How can we solve it? The micronutrients. So part of my, and now I'll launch into my quick reference to my Health 44. The first four of the Health 44 is elimination of the four food categories which impair our absorption, digestion, our holistic health outcomes. Okay, so gluten is out. Wheat, barley, rye, oats, and now I think also buckwheat. We need to get off those glutens, otherwise the absorption in our small villi is impaired because the glutens are damaging our small villi in our small, the villi in our small intestines, sorry. And drip, 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 year after year, decade after decade. I started at age 47. I've stopped and slowed some of my aging processes, and hopefully most of the world can follow. and I continue to experiment, and I'm doing a podcast after this one as well, because this is a quiet time in the house. So I'll launch into what I'm doing there with further experimentation with myself, because what I'm advocating for here, I've gone off my Health 44, but just briefly, I want to be wrong so I can improve more. So far, I haven't been wrong, particularly with my own outcomes and a few others that I know. Okay, so, gluten's out. Next, out of those first four, the 44, second food category that needs to be eliminated is our oils, our fried food, burnt animal fat, and all oils. Oils in a bottle. Okay, even our extra virgin olive oil out. We must not use any oil in a bottle because it's oxidized. It adds to the whole formation of trans fats, acrylamides, and heterocyclic amines, which together with sugars creates those bad cholesterol numbers. Okay, so sugars are out as well, and they're nitrites and nitrates, which are found mainly in the processed meats, the salami, ham, pastrami, corned beef, spam, processed meats out. That's the new carcinogen in town. Not sitting is the new smoking and all that sort of stuff. Did you know that there's more 80-year-old smokers than there are 50-year-old smokers that are dying of emphysema? Oh yes. How does that work? Anyway. So that's the first for the 44, eliminating those four food categories, 95% of the supermarket. Oh, but that becomes easy when you add the four categories of micronutrients. We need those 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 2 essential fatty acids. Bingo, bongo, health sorted. It takes months if you're using my template as a 40-year-old. If you're 50, add another month. If you're 60, add another month. For your the villi in your small intestine to heal somewhat, to then digest, and then, oh, I'm feeling good. Oh, I'm losing weight. Oh, I don't need to drink, smoke, and take crack laced with fentanyl. That's it. Okay. If you were distracted before, didn't quite take this on board, I'm gonna say it again. Drug taking, laced with fentanyl, obesity, drinking, smoking, okay, cravings, even as a pregnant woman. Pica. You have pica. And to get rid of that pica, those cravings, and then gravitating to the drugs, do that. Health 44, bingo, bongo, sorted. Oh, I know, because it's worked for me. I used to, cigars. I used to do mainly cigars. I graduated to pipe smoking there for a while. Never illicit drugs. I drank, not to excess, but enough for that bit of numbing. And I was obese. Oh dear, was I obese? I may have reached the 400-pound barrier, around the 180. The last time I saw the highest kilogram reading on that scale was about 167, I think. And I do know I upped it a little bit before I turned it around. And I was always yo-yoing for decades of my life. And when I got onto longevity, I was sitting on, say, 150 kilos, probably just under that, but let's say 150, and I went down to something like 85, and I'm now 95, as in I've probably put on some lean mass, because stripping that weight, you'll also lose lean mass. And also in the last couple of years, I've started to experiment with doing some weights, protein, what protein does, especially for me, which can be extrapolated, I think, to most of the population. And I'll probably mention more of that in the next episode, right? And in recent times, I'm I've got this pull-up bar and dip thing. So I'm doing some calisthenics, and I've gone from doing a couple of minutes of weights each day, a couple of minutes each second day. Then I started going to a gym, 20 minutes, worked my way up to 40 minutes. Ooh, gee, I didn't like this. I'll let my membership lapse. I'm doing now a bit of calisthenics, and I've gone from doing half an hour calisthenics to a few minutes to 1 minute a day. So anyway, that's just to disclose further on what I'm doing on the physical front. The physicality of the calories in, calories out as well. There's a lot more that meets the eye with calories in versus calories out, because that's for another episode, and I've covered it in other episodes prior. But because the reason why I mention these things often is because this is a crappy production, and often I have one-off listeners, and I need to just grab them sometimes with certain comments, okay? And for their sake, like, hey, I'm into, what's this, 316 episodes of the podcast. Not much of a cracker as income, but hey, I'll still be here. Hopefully, by the time I'm 80, I'm still probably functioning well, and I might get some following. I don't know, but even if it doesn't take, even if I'm 103 and I'm still going, I told you guys 50 years ago you should be doing this, I'll still be trying, because that's how passionate I am, because it's working so much what I advocate for here under that Health 44, and it goes with the drug takers, the people that are obese, drinkers, the smokers, and the like, and the chronic illness people, and the still trying to think of that your body's attacking itself umbrella. Anyway, why has that escaped me? And so I'm seeing the time. Should I wrap things up? My sweet spot tends to get into the half-hour area. And with fentanyl, perhaps some add-ons that I'd like to add is that it's not going away. The drug crisis doubles as the fentanyl crisis, and it doubles again as the obesity epidemic. It's just going to get worse and worse, because we are becoming more starved of micronutrients. And that is all, folks. And if we're not starved with the micronutrients, we won't be obese. We won't have cravings and need some Johnny Walker Scotch or crack laced with fentanyl. It sounds too good to be true, but in my humble opinion, should it be classed as an opinion? I believe so, because I don't have the energies, the resources, the following to follow up with experimentation, theory, hypothesis, theory, and to get it published. But by understanding for myself, not wanting any smokes, drinking, or fatty food, or much of it, getting enough micronutrients on board, digesting it, and absorbing it as well, on top of the Health 44. Yes, there's nuances there. I assure you things will be sorted for you as well, rest of world. If any of this resonates with you, some of my links are there on the link tree on the bottom of the episode. Look it up. It's worth every penny. If I had $1 million, I would drop 900 grand just like that. Bingo bongo. And in past videos, I've shown how obese I used to look. It wasn't pretty, and I started late, and also the regime that I've mirrored mostly from Dr. Joel Wallach, that started the whole longevity company. I take in a lot of his stuff, but a lot of it I've refined even better with the cherry on top. And here I am passing it on to the world. Longevity supplies me with the micronutrients, and I haven't looked back, together with the whole Health 44 methodology. Okay, so if you're a drug taker which has got fentanyl in it, and you feel good each time you take it and you just can't get off it, Health 44. Health 44. And that is just by doing what I've just shown around minute 15 or whatever it was, you're well on your way. With a bit of some of the caution that I need to disclose is nuances, age, weight, how much dose you need to have, and that sort of thing. How you're digesting, and you need to be honest with yourself, right? There's a lot of things to autoimmune disease. It came to me, your body attacking itself. Autoimmune disease, anyway. So no, fentanyl laced into your recreational drugs is not your bad upbringing, your young person exposure to drugs, your traumas, your tortures, your cravings, your bad company, your peers. It is pica. Pica for the drug takers, pica for the obese people. Same shit. Same shit, okay? I'm not sure how to share it better, articulate it better for the world. But if you're suffering on the drug side or the obesity side, and you nearly died because, plenty of fentanyl in whatever you were taking, Health 44. Okay? That's it for now. I'm sorry I had to name this the fentanyl crisis solved in one word, but in a way, it is. Pica will be sorted if you did the Health 44. Oh, before my official goodbye, you know how some health shows do disclosure statements, and this is not for advice. Go to your bloody general practitioner. Here's mine. Fuck you with your disclosure, okay? Try the Health 44 for goodness sake, and you might be surprised. Okay, so anyway, that was that. Until the next time, bye bye.